So folks, I am really lazy not to film this sitting down and playing it properly with all my fingers. I'm sort of propping it up and giving you a thumb solo, which is not the best way to demonstrate this guitar. This is a recognizable guitar. These are the Cordoba C5 models. Do they still call them Iberia models? Yes, they do. This is the C5CE, so this is the C5 cutaway with the Fishman Isis preamp, which is an excellent system. And I managed to pick up a couple of these, and these are red cedar tops. I think they are Canadian red cedar tops, ebony fretboards, and the traditional open headstock with the geared tuners, sort of a black on gold with pearloid caps, traditional Spanish style rosette, black binding all the way throughout, mahogany back and sides, laminate, really nice mahogany, and then of course the Isis pickup, which has a phase in it, which gives you slightly different sound parameters, plus it has a onboard tuner and full bass treble EQ, and these sound great. And these C5s are on the top of the list for teachers recommending beginner guitars to students who definitely want to play more of a classical style. There are other C models since this came out. C7, C9, C11. I think there might be, no, there's not a C10. I think there's a C11. And of course they're a lot more expensive than you get into the all solid woods, but these are affordable. You can pick these up for around $350, $400 in really good condition like this one, and maybe you'll get a used one, a fairly beat up used one for $250 or something like that if you're lucky, and you can make it playable. I got a couple of these, and of course as soon as I listed them, one flew out the door yesterday. I'm sure this will follow soon. Every time I get Cordoba guitars, anything above the C3 or even the Protege, the C1, they go quickly because this brand name now is the most popular in the US, and that includes Fender and Gibson. These guys have really cornered the market almost on nylon string guitars, and Cordoba carries a lot of weight. Whenever I list one of these, I get people replying right away. It doesn't take a while like other brands, it's just instant, and you can see why. They put a bone nut and saddle on this. They have the rosewood face headstock. They always sound really good. They put a good electronics on it. They're well made. And even though this is a Spanish company, of course these lower end models are made in Asia. And they run the gamut. I mean, they do some really good higher end stuff that I've been fortunate enough to play. Some all solid wood stuff, but it gets you up into the 8,000, 9,000, 1,500, 2,000 range. But if you have $300 or $400 to spend and you want a good classical guitar, these C5s are excellent. Very resonant tops on these. Put a good set of strings on them. Do your fret end maintenance, set your action, and 9 times out of 10 you'll get an excellent classical guitar. And this one with the Fishman, I plugged it in yesterday. I was playing with it. It's a great system for nylon strings. It captures the fidelity of sound, the spectrum of sound. You can dial in your bass and your trebles and your mids. You've got the phase, which kind of gives you a stereo effect on a mono amp, which is interesting. So it's just an excellent electric classical for probably one of the lowest. I mean, there are companies that you can get under more in the 250 range, but they're nowhere near as good. I mean, I've had some of them on this channel. Really, if you want a good electric classical, this is where you start with the C5CE. All right, folks, I'm sure this won't be here in a couple of days, so I'm glad to show this to you. Take care. See you next time.